Day 5, back in time. What is that? Asked the sleepy Robert. Replied a not quite awake wolfhound. That sounds like wolves. It couldn't be. He suddenly became very alert and jumped up from the slumber. It appears the faeries have their revenge after all. They have moved us back in time. Wolves have been extinct in Ireland for over 200 years. My ancestors were bred to hunt and kill wolves, to protect humans and cattle. Looks like we have arrived in a time when wolves still roam the land. Oh my goodness, gasped Susan, turning. What is that? An extremely large animal was looking at them from the edge of the forest. His head stood twice as the height of the children. His antlers were huge. Whoa! Breathed Robert. All the children's eyes were big. Don't move too quickly, said the wolfhound quietly. I don't want to spook him. As they moved away from the giant, they could hear the wolf howls and bark coming closer. Quickly, barked the wolfhound. Follow me. We must get away. The kids scrambled after the wolfhound up the side of a steep hill. Looking back, they watched the wolf pack chase the gigantic animal. What was that? Asked Robert. That was an Irish elk, replied the wolfhound, which is actually the largest deer ever. They have been extinct for over 6,000 years. Its antlers reach up to 12 feet wide. It could weigh as much as 1,500 pounds. Even the wolfhound sounded impressed and a little unsettled. He led them higher up the hill into a large cave. By the time they arrived, the wolves and huge deer were gone. This is so high up, squealed Susan, and cold. But it is safe, replied a very relieved Jane. And look at the view, exclaimed James. It is beautiful, said the wolfhound, once he made sure the children were in the back of the cave. The wolfhound watched the front of the cave while the children made a fire and readied breakfast. When he was sure they were safe, he joined the children. We are in Gleniff Cave. Glaciers formed this valley thousands of years ago. Legend states the Irish hero Fionn McCool hunted red deer in this valley. He used this very cave as a resting and lookout spot. The wolfhound cocked his head. Actually, he hasn't done that yet. I guess he will in another 4,000 years. James frowned. How can frozen water form a valley? Glaciers move, and as they do, soil and rocks move with it. This is one way whole valleys are carved out. After Jane and James had a nice warm fire going, the wolfhound sighed. We have a long wait today. It is not safe for us to venture out of the cave. I thought you said you were the biggest animal here, Robert stated accusingly. He was still scared. All of them were. I am, he said, back in my time, or forward in my time. But we are thousands of years in the past. There are no bigger predators than the wolves, and we are safe up here. I will guard the entrance, but we need to stay in the cave today. I smell rain, and it looks like it will last all day. It is a good thing we have shelter. The children agreed and pulled out the plants they had collected the day before. Do any of these belong to the blackthorn bush? Said James. Let's see, the wolfhound cocked his head, then sniffed the flowers. That pretty yellow one is a loosestrife. I know it looks a bit like a bush, but it's not the blackthorn. Yeah, said Robert, it probably needs to be black. Haha, Jane mouthed at him. Looking at Susan, the wolfhound added, the loosestrife flower is used to treat digestive issues and to stop bleeding. What about this one? Asked Jane. The wolfhound paused to sniff it. This one is a meadow sweet. One day it will be processed and used as aspirin. What do you mean by one day? Asked Susan. Well, replied the wolfhound, it has not yet been discovered. We are too far back in time. That was a hard concept to understand. Last flower, said Jane. It didn't come from a bush, so probably not the blackthorn. The wolfhound seemed to smile. This is a cuckoo flower. Robert twirled his finger on the side of his head like someone was crazy. Faeries deemed these sacred, so best keep outside the cave, continued the Wolfhound. Robert quickly put his hand down and volunteered to set the flowers to the front of the cave. He had learned to respect the fairies. Not much used in medicine, said the Wolfhound, answering Susan's unspoken question. When they had finished looking at the plants, Jane asked where they were. The province of Connacht, answered the Wolfhound. Get out your map and I will show you exactly. Before James could ask the Wolfhound not to touch, his grass-stained paw was already on the map. James shook his head. He was still trying to get the last muddy paw print clean. Time went slowly, sitting in the cave all day. Everyone was ready for bed that night, crossing their fingers they would awaken a new place, hopefully on a clear day.